All right, thank you. Thank you. The program still this morning on ITV on independent television in Benin City. The 10 most African powerful passports that the International Association of Air Transports just released. Very, very disturbing that out of a whole 10 countries in Africa, Nigeria did not feature as any of the number. Very, very disturbing. Now, the International Air Transport Association is a global agency that collates the way people use their passport for various reasons every year. And of course, within the first few weeks of January, they have come out with their ranking for the first quarter of the year 2024. And we have various countries ranging from Seychelles, where we're told that the ranking is actually a global ranking. It's not as if maybe it was only in Africa that they did the ranking. They did the ranking globally, all the countries of the world, to see how powerful international passports are. And of course, in terms of global acceptability, in terms of business viability, and of course, in terms of other things that people readily rank a passport with. That's what they did their ranking for. And of course, the very first one that came up in Africa is Seychelles. We're told that by global ranking, Seychelles, we can let those one roll now. We can let, if we have the graphics, we can let it roll. Seychelles global rank that stands, by the global ranking, it stands at 26 at the forefront of African passports. And Seychelles secures the top spot with an economic mobility score of 55.89%, falling according to citizens visa-free accessibility to 156 destinations. Now, just as how viable your passport is economically, the ranking also on is also on how visa-free your passport can be. Now, some countries of the world, just because you own a certain international passport, it means that you can go to that country. Those are various ways that they did their ranking. And the second one, we have it as Mauritius. By the global ranking, Mauritius stands at the 30th position, and following closely, Mauritius claim to be at the second position with an impressive economic mobility score of 57.68%. And Mauritius passport holders enjoy visa-free access to over 150 destinations worldwide. And also in the third position by the AIT ranking is South Africa. And for South Africa, it stands at 53rd position. And South Africa secures the third spot, showing and showcasing its economic strength and global influence and global acceptability, with an economic mobility score of 16.37%. And South Africa passport holders enjoy access to 108 destinations. That is, if you're a South African passport holder, then of course it shows that you can go to any of the country within the list, about 108 of them without a visa. Then we have Botswana. Botswana global ranking stands at 59th position, and Botswana emerges as the passport, the fourth position. And we're told that with a robust economic mobility score of 14.77%, the nation's citizens benefit from visa-free access to 91 destinations, reinforcing Botswana standing as a key player in African mobility. Now, we are going to be looking at all this. We'll let it slide as we talk on the matter this morning, so that we can begin to also make suggestions how Nigeria should be, because we are the giants of Africa. There's no doubt about that. But this is very disturbing now that Nigerian passport is not powerful. That's the implication of it in any way. It's not powerful economically. It's not powerful in terms of global acceptability. It's not powerful in terms of visa-free to countries around the world. Well, to do justice to this discussion this morning, we're so privileged to have seasoned guests. First and foremost, join me to welcome Mr. Philip Agwebo. Mr. Philip, welcome to this program this morning on ITV.
Good morning, welcome viewers. Good morning.
Okay.
Thomas, good morning.
You're welcome. And also have Patrick, Barrister Patrick Awosaige. This is one guy that has traveled outside the country. So he's going to be giving us the international impression. Because the stories that we are told is that most times when you're outside the country in foreign airports, you tender a good passport. The impression is really not impressive about the passport. So it's going to be giving us what are the reasons and what is really responsible for this. I will say welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We're also expecting Mr. Samuel Higato, and when he comes, he's going to be joining us on the program this morning. Now, I'll start with Philip Egwa, but now, I don't know whether you are disturbed in any way by this ranking. Out of 10, Nigeria did not suffice in any of the number.
Yes, of course. Every right-thinking Nigerian will actually be disturbed. When you talk about ranking in this kind of scenario, it's a global thing. The agency is a global agency that actually look at so many factors. There are so many indices put in place to actually come up with their ranking. You know, ranking sends a lot of messages around the world. When you are ranked either in football, in any whatever, you know, that has to do with other countries, with your country, it sends a lot of signals. So they have put a lot of things, a lot of consideration in place to have this number. So as a citizen of Nigeria who believes so much in this country, Nigeria, I must be disturbed because actually they have been complacent and there how the green passport, not just the color now, though we call it the green passport because that's the color of the Nigerian passport. But I think a lot of two cases are there. A lot of issues led to why the regard for the green passport is so low internationally. So I'm disturbed. Nigeria should be disturbed.
Okay, now Barrister Patrick Awosaige, I know you are proud to be in Nigeria. But,
very proud.
Little wonder whether you are still proud to be the green passport holder.
Very, very proud of that.
So what do you think are the issues?
Thank you very much. We must look at it holistically, and I appreciate the fact that the ranking didn't favor us. I appreciate the fact that things seem to have been done not the best ways it should have, but we must not look at the invisible factors. And this continent, Africa, we must understand that have been so undermined from the various times we studied in school, historically, and they made us to understand that Africa was a dark continent. They didn't tell us the good treasures we had before the arrival of the Europeans and all those guys that came on board. We must look at it again. You don't want to help this continent to develop in some ways, and you manipulate systems over there globally, and then just because the principle of colonialism have been divide and rule, you know, it's still going on, neocolonialism everywhere. So if we're talking about what's going on, we will not be fair to ourselves. We must understand that the average Nigeria deserves better than what they have today. You don't expect a young man having spent time studying hard all his life in school, get a job. His job fee or salaries cannot take care of him, let alone getting a wife and children. So these are some of the issues. You say, well, that's not the international ratings. Who told you that? They have come in some subtle ways, and they have been able to manipulate system, engage the political structure, and being able to use that as a way to bring in folks that will favor them.
Yeah, but the question we asked was like a country like, if you go down to that ranking again, yes, Kenya is among.
I appreciate
a country like Kenya that is not as economically viable like Nigeria, let me put it that way, and maybe in other factors may not be as strong as Nigeria as a nation. If Kenya can make it, I mean, why don't the same colonialism, why didn't they use it against Kenya?
When you talk this way, you cannot compare what the position Nigeria holds and Kenya. That's the truth. We must look at it from that perspective. Nigeria has so much in it, and the vast expanse of lands we have and all the natural resources. I agree that Kenya is one of the, why is Kenya now? I'm not interested in the ranking, to tell you the honest truth. I don't think about, that's not my concern. We should look inward. Who are those that are ranking it? Who constitute the board? I checked all the various DGs. They were all foreigners. They were all, what have you? Just like the United Nations. All these things started in 1945. We must understand, okay, why do we even talk of the air transports and what do you call it again? International Air Transport Association. Yeah. Why did it come on board? That's what you should be asking yourself. It happened 1945. That was after the war, the Second World War. So they wanted to ensure they monitor transactions to know, so that to check these guys and know. That's basically, that's on the other hand. We say, well, it's not, that's not what we're talking about. We should talk about everything. The reason it came about, who are those? United Nations. What have United Nations done? We call United Nations what this day, what that day. What have they really done to the average person? You say, well, why am I talking like this? I'm talking like this because that's the truth. Because until we get there, we will not be able to really do so much. Now, you're talking about, like in Nigeria today now, there's no job for the average graduates, you know, and then they're struggling, trying to get a second skill to sustain yourself while having gone through school. It's not obtainable elsewhere. So these are some of the factors you should look at, because a nation is not made by machines. There are people. I need to be comfortable. I remember some time ago, I said the same as if everybody is happy in Dubai. I was wondering why, you know, in Johannesburg, you see people are excited. You could walk on the street and then they just like you. I saw someone, you're wearing a Gucci designer's t-shirt. I want to have a picture, I want to snap with you. That's how people live. Now here we are all on the move, trying to get by every day. People are tortured every day. You're like you're living in a camp that you don't even know what's going to happen to you in the next minute. That is the problem. So when people are not comfortable, we keep talking about we don't have money, their money. What come on? It's not about borrowing. Borrow for the right reasons. Put money in the life of the citizens. You're talking about bandits, you're talking about criminals, you're talking about all whatnot. Call them the names you call them. Yeah. They are all human beings. They want to live a better life. If I can go to my farm freely and farm, if I can rear my cattle freely and do that, if I can do business and without government coming in between to demand what I did not earn for me. And these are some of the reasons we are facing these issues, because we cannot change this country until we change the system of leadership in terms of attending to the people. Know that your constitution that I have read over and again, I told you that the security of life and property is the responsibility of the government. And it's Abacha that said any insurgency that lasts more than 48 hours, the government of the day is involved.
Okay, let me pause.
That's what he said.
Let me pause you. Mr. Philip Aguabo right now. Now, you see, we're talking about these countries that made a list now. All of them, as a matter of fact, they have visa-free access to a number of other countries. Are you not perturbed? Are you not disturbed that Nigeria, if we go deep into our investigation more, it may not be up to 10 countries that Nigeria has visa-free entrance into. Now, what does that connote for us as a nation?
Well, every country, just like an individual, want to actually deal with people that they think.
That what?
That they think.
That they think.
Yes,
I like
have
that
more
word.
Economic value to them. Just like an individual.
You mean Nigerians don't have economic value?
We want to make friends with people we think can enhance our living, can enhance our lives. Okay, like in the case, though we have more than 10, we have a lot of countries that Nigeria is visa-free to. But you look at those countries very well. What are the value an average Nigerian can derive from such a country? We have Sudan, we have Sudan, Djibouti, and some other countries here and there, of which an average Nigerian may not even want to go to such countries. Okay. So to an extent, most of these things boil down to leadership of the country.
That's correct.
That is just the truth. It's leadership. The moment the leadership take a stand on certain issues, every other thing will follow. Take, for instance, a country where most government top officials that will come on international news will be accused of embezzlement here and there. Will be accused. There was a time in this country where the #1 citizen accused fellow citizens that they are all corrupt. What do you expect? How do you think other countries will take a look at such a country or its citizens? Definitely, they will not look at them very well. So we are various ambassadors in our own capacity, yes, but there are top government officials that the world actually look up to. So once you go out there and demarket your people, and the people they look up to are also demarketing us by their way of actions, by their behaviors, you know, and a lot of them come to Nigeria sometimes. They hear of Nigeria, great nation with so much resources, but when they get here, they are disappointed. I drove through the bypass this morning when I was coming here. You can see how the Chinese are busy as early as 6 when I was going to the bypass. A lot of their trucks were already loaded with various raw materials. They are cutting it with our materials. What is wrong with Africa? What is wrong with Nigeria?
Nigeria, yeah.
Why our money going away? Can't our leaders, can't they invest here and empower people? The truth is this. I was in Johannesburg sometimes, 2016. I realized that an average South African, just like you and I, don't have the urge to leave South Africa.
That's true. Very correct.
Just the way we do here. If you go to the street, an average, the utmost aim of an average Nigerian is how to leave this country. I went to see a friend, you know, the other day. This is a consultant in UBTH. When I was to ask after him again for an issue, they said the answer is no longer in the country. I said, okay, no problem. Let me call the wife. I called the wife. The line was not good. So I called the friend to help me connect the wife. I said, he didn't go alone. No. He went with the family. The wife is a senior lecturer in Uniben. Himself is a consultant in UBTH. The children, they are all gone. What do you think of that? They are not leaving because they feel they can no longer help the country Nigeria, or they so much now hate the country Nigeria, or they have been called upon to go and no. They have gone to survive for their own self.
For survival.
Yes. The first thing and the first problem in this country is insecurity.
What about you and I surviving here? what special things do we have that others don't have? Philip, I mean, you and I were here, we're surviving here. Our children are going to school, we are paying our rent, and some of us, we strive, we own property here and there. So what are we doing that others cannot do?
Well, you see, the emotional torture we go through on daily basis. A lot of people don't want to go through that. We may just be surviving just because we are here, because for now, there seems to be little or no other option. If there are, you and I, let's be fair to ourselves. We'll make our way out. That is the truth. The insecurity is so high that a lot of people don't want to gamble with their lives.
Okay. All right, so Patrick Awosage, now we understand that the personal physician to the President of United States of America is a Nigerian. Now, you have fantastic Nigerians outside the shores of this country, no doubt about it. They've made their mark in almost all endeavor of life that they go into. Now, don't you think that some of this ranking that we are seeing now may be a direct implication of the kind of people that we are, Nigerians, outside the shores of this country? Who are we outside this country? Who are we, Awosage?
Thank you very much. Human behavior is same. You have a black, or I don't like the word black, you have colored like us, you know, that are bad people. You have good ones, you have Caucasians that are nice people and very mean people too. Hitler wasn't, you know, this color. And King Leopold, we saw the mayhem he did in Togo, in Congo. 15 million Africans, including children. He wasn't colored, you know. He actually wanted to own that country. He wanted to own it. That's why they went to the Berlin conference. He was pushing Otto von Bismarck, you know, come on, push this for me. I said, you cannot own, come on, you could lead them, but you cannot own. So these are some of the things we should look at. Now, when you talk about Nigerians are doing exceptionally well abroad, you know, these are some of the things that they are the same people. You know, they are the same people. It's just that the enabling environment is created. And that's why you see that happen. I remember I drafted a will for a very prominent Edo indigene. And they told me his eldest son at the time, he spoke with me. And he said he cannot come, but he would have, whenever he's in Nigeria, he would come. He was the Queen of England's personal doctor.
Personal physician.
Physician.
Yeah,
the
last queen, yeah.
The last queen, the then queen.
There.
You know, what I'm trying to say, a Benin man, like you were saying, come on, it's not about this rating back and forth. It's about wrong leadership. Mr. Philip, I've just said it, so I don't think I have any. That is the truth. When leadership has failed, when there's no good, sound leadership, Then you have all of this. Let me bring you back to England. During the war, there was a man called Winston Churchill, and his friend, he called his friend Franklin Roosevelt in America. Guess what? These guys were the guys that saved, that guaranteed this world the peace we enjoy for the almost 80 years, 79 years now, since 1945. You see, Roosevelt, Hitler was pressing on, but Churchill was telling his people, don't worry, we're going to overcome, we're going to, nothing on ground. Then until Roosevelt got involved. You see, that's leadership. Roosevelt at that time was serving his third term, which is against the Constitution. Because of the war, he had to continue. Now, Roosevelt was on the wheelchair. He was sick. And they called his general, what's going on? And then they said, look at it, come on, there's a Manhattan Project somewhere, you know. He now stood, he pulled himself up on the table. I can't ever forget that. And he hit the table and he fell back on his chair. I said, no, I want results. And stop talking. And they went to test the Manhattan. We saw Hiroshima and Nagasaki that ended the war. That's leadership. Are you happy that people were killed? No. Their wrong leadership caused their death. You see, because when you don't have sound leadership and when leaders are not groomed, when you just have political office holder and automatically become a leader. You didn't study leadership. How many leadership books do our leaders, so to speak, how many have they studied? How many leadership seminars do we have around the country? We're only having financial seminars. Everybody wants to be a billionaire. When the country is in comatose. That is the problem. You don't need to be, like you just said, you know, I was in Johannesburg sometime, in Sonny, I was there, and the cab man, one Sonny, and I said, you big man, you rich, you Nigeria, you make money, you big people. And then he said all of that. And I was wondering. Then I said, well, we got our power, we vote our president. I said, I'm coming to vote. He said, come, you don't vote. You not vote. We vote our people. He was confident. He said, I live in Soweto. You live in something. I live in Soweto. I am your cab man.
He said Nigerians don't vote.
He said you can't vote. He said it's for them. He was so confident in telling me. You know, I went to Soweto also. I saw them living. I was watching their television, and I had people complaining that they are drainage. The president have not come to do anything about it. They were protesting. I said, come on, drain. That you should be flogged to do in Benin City. Come on. It was crazy. That's what I'm trying to say. So the earlier we realize the truth, you think you are doing so well now. If you are given an enabling environment, you will excel so well. Okay, the other time, I think in Canada, the faculty of law, all the graduates, a particular college in Canada, they were all Nigerians. All Nigerians went there, and there was no other national. Only Nigerians graduated from the faculty of law.
Maybe the best of results.
Of course, we always had, that's normal. You know, that's normal because you're studying on that very unfavorable environment here. So how do you even make your grades here? You know, they are poorly assessed. You know, I don't believe in those grades because the average Nigerian pastor, Chris Okoti, once said, he showed up in an American shop and he was talking to them. And then I asked him, sorry sir, are you a Nigerian? He said, yes, what did you ask? He said, the confidence I eschew from you. Nigerians are now beginning to, you know, behave like they don't know themselves anymore because of the torture. Like I said, okay, how can you just drive from here to Oluku? There's no place you can sit. Or you're driving to Ore, you are on the road, looking at your back, whether a vehicle is coming. If somebody is getting too close, you are trying to pretend like you know, what are we doing? You're living in fear. So the best can come out of you. You don't need to be rich. We don't have credit cards in Nigeria. The government of the day don't respect us. How do you expect outsiders to do?
Okay.
I don't need to have all the money. Come on, what will I eat? What will my brother eat? What will we eat? Can't we be given this opportunity to have money to use first? You can see how they made a mess of the mobile app borrowing because Nigerians are impoverished. That is the truth. It's a direct strategy to keep them small so that they will not protest for what is theirs.
All right, so let's see the ranking one more time. We stopped at number 5. we are still checking out for Nigeria, and we stopped at number 5. That was Botswana. Now let's say the 5th one in the ranking is Lesotho. Lesotho global ranking stands at we could just slide out this on the screen now. Now, global ranking stands at 65th position, and Lesotho secures the 65th global rank with economic mobility score of 12.6%. This Southern African nation offers its passport holders access to 80 destinations and contributing to Lesotho's growing global presence. Then we also have Namibia. Imagine Namibia was again. Namibia. The global rank is 65th position. Namibia with economic mobility score of 8.33%. And the nation's passport provides visa-free access to 80 destinations, showcasing Namibia's expanding influence on international stage. Then we also have Eswatini. Yes, Eswatini, the global rank is 66%, and Eswatini now with economic mobility score of 8.34% with visa-free access to 78 destinations. The nation's passport enhances the global reach of Eswatini's citizens. And then Kenya is also there. Kenya made it through with a 67th position, and Kenya emerges with an economic mobility score of 5.48%. And Kenyan passport holders enjoy access to 76 destinations, further solidifying Kenyan's position as regional holders. Then we also have Malawi. Then the very last one, let's see the last one now. The last one, let's see after Malawi, the last one should be Tanzania. And for Tanzania, let's see the last one, which is Tanzania now. Tanzania should be the last one. All right, so for Tanzania, we're told that Tanzania global rank stands at 69%, rounding off the top 10 most powerful passports in Africa. Tanzania achieves a global rank of 69% with an economic mobility score of 4.92%. And Tanzanian passport holders benefit from visa-free access to 76 destinations, symbolizing the nation's commitment to navigating new horizons in global engagement. Now, gentlemen, now you see what we are looking here. Most of these countries that have free access to most of these countries. Now, most of the countries that they have free access to are their colonial masters. They colonized them. Britain colonized Nigeria. Philip.
Yes.
Britain colonized Nigeria. Little wonder how many Nigerians can have visa free to Britain as it stands today.
Very few.
I don't think there is none.
If I say
it's not visa free.
If I say very few,
yeah,
I'm talking the likes of maybe Mr. President, maybe Nigerian ambassadors.
That's diplomatic passport I have. So
aside that,
yeah,
probably none. Yes, probably none. But maybe when you have some money to go and reserve there, I don't know. I'm just alleging here. Maybe when you have enough money to go and hide there, they may be giving the visa free. I don't know. But outside that, probably none. Because because it's of this feeling that, to me, I feel that this see Nigeria as a country that have nothing. Nigeria has nothing to really offer.
You mean Nigerians? Yes, when we are the best of doctors, the best of engineers?
That is, you see, just as you rightly said, they have so manipulated the system that only the very top are separated from the very bottom. When you say a country is visa free, it means whether you are a broadcaster, you're a barrister, I'm a businessman, I can access that country, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But the method with Britain colonizing Nigeria with their passport restriction is to take out the very best. If you are a doctor, apply. If they see your profile, see what you have, they will allow you in. If you are a big-time businessman, apply. Why there's so much restriction? Why there's so much amount of reserve? Why there's so much investigation of your status of account and so many? It's to restrict the common man that they feel is coming to feed on them. You see, these guys, they are actually smart out there. Yeah. So they are not actually helping us when they give us visa. They are just giving to those few ones they feel can contribute to the economy.
And make progress on the economy.
Yes.
At our own
So, for
expense.
instance, if you imagine the amount Nigerians are paying as school fees, you pay for accommodation, you pay for your feeding, then they just give you some little time to steal. After which, you begin to struggle again just to survive in their environment. So it's a terrible situation.
Now,
They are featuring the very best out leaving the
That's
what
a
they feel as the junk behind.
Oh, we are featuring the very best out of ourselves. We want to go there.
No. It's making a valid
Just
position.
in addition to that, I will say again.
Yes.
Now, because when you say visa-free, it means they are at liberty. They need not to fear who you are as a citizen of Nigeria, of the country, to come to their country. But for Nigerians, they have to scrutinize. They even go as far as
I'll tell you
some
why.
police reports, social reports and all that before they grant you access. So doesn't that tell
You know
you
why?
that Nigerians were not, I don't want to use the word that perhaps we are not good people outside the
No,
country.
that's not true. They're scared of us. That's the truth. Go to England today now. Nigerians are everywhere. No, why will you give them, you've not given them visa free, they're everywhere. Who dominates England? Who are the doctors? Who are everybody on the streets? They are Nigerians. I don't want to mention some prominent musicians' name. I can tell you where their kids are and what they are doing. Nigerians are everywhere, so don't be deceived by that. Go there. If a Nigerian wants to travel, they will still give them visa. Nigerians are too smart. You know, they know Nigerians are intelligent people. They are, even the one without the bank statement, he was going to meet a big man. Oh, sir, please, let me act as your son? And you write for him. And in some cases, you know, Nigerian transaction now, you will pay me some money, and okay, I will pay later, sir, no problem.
Yeah.
I have a piece of land somewhere, and they exchange that and they travel. But those guys in South Africa, they can't do that. They don't think that way. You understand? Nigerians are very, they have been so tortured that the ideas is coming from everywhere. And that's why they're scared of us. Go there now. Who are those? Even in Johannesburg, go to Santi, go everywhere. Go to Pretoria. Who are those controlling? Nigerians are everywhere. So the idea of, Nigerians are being restricted, they are scared. So they try to put that one to ensure so that the average person, it will be seen like you cannot just go there, to discourage you. They really can't really turn you down.
Yeah.
There some time ago, I got a report that an application I made for someone in Canada, it was used in the court. And I was surprised. So why will you believe in my judgment? I gave that report and I made it and I sent to them and they accepted it. And the person have been given a passport in Canada. What I'm trying to say is that they know we are good. Is it me that will say I want to go to Canada? They will say no. No. I won't go there. I don't even want to go. I won't go. Because if you really know too well, you won't even want to stay there. That's the truth.
Okay.
Because they are going to use that means to use you and keep you. And when they keep you for so long, they start using you to, sending you just the way they send the guys around to come and be marginalizing. Okonjo Iweala meant well for Nigerians, meant well for this country, but she can't. She's too American. So you need to be home. You need to be home to do so much. That's why we canvas stay back. But if the economy is not doing well, none of us here is looking for what to eat. I'm talking of major Nigerians. They are hungry.
They're hungry.
I'm sorry to bring this in. Very recently, before the end of the year, a lot of killings were going on. And I heard my governor said that what they were saying, he have information. That there's no telephone conversation that he cannot get whatever they say.
Yeah, as the chief security
As the chief security, I'm just saying, why did that same, because I know nothing happened without communicating. If I'm coming to you, I say, Oga Philip, I come. You say, okay, I will say, where you will meet me. I say, I'll meet you for Ramat Park. Somebody must be following up. Why did they not do anything? Because the people involved are not prominent people.
Exactly.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So that's the kind of country we're talking about.
Okay.
Until we change the narrative, things will not get
All right, so let's begin to profile solutions now. Philip, let's begin because let's see, because this is the first quarter ranking. So by March or April, another ranking is going to come up. So perhaps Nigeria will fall in the list then. So what do you think we should begin to do as a nation now, so that when we have this kind of ranking, we should be able to see that, okay, Nigeria as a nation is part of it. Philip, what do you think we should begin to do as a nation?
Well, the first is for Nigerian government to begin to look inward, see how they can begin to invest in the country and create employment for the people. Because I've realized over time that the only language an average hungry man understands is food is ready. Every other language you want to speak is meaningless to that person. As rightly said, as Vice rightly said, the people are actually hungry. If you go out there, if you see how people are suffering, you will know that people are hungry. I'll give an example. There's a mini truck that fell by the bypass, by Sapler Road bypass, and contains vegetable oil. Where it fell into during the rainy season, not just in the dry season, during the rainy season, where you have so much, bad water, gully water, here and there, gutter water, it fell. Definitely oil will float. You see people struggling to scoop the oil out. It's
at the expense of their life.
At the expense of that.
Don't you also think that perhaps there is something that is wrong with our minds?
With the mind?
With our minds.
Because they have been tortured.
You just said people are hungry.
Yeah.
Some persons would tell you that perhaps...
They are retarded now.
People are hungry in their stomach. People are hungry in their minds, not
Everywhere.
necessarily in their stomach.
No
the
power.
greatest hunger is the hunger in your mind.
But the stomach controls the mind.
Yes.
The mind controls the stomach.
When I say the stomach, what I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
If I am not eating, I can't read. I remember when I was studying. Imagine you are studying for an exam and you are hungry.
You can't concentrate.
You can't concentrate. So that's the truth. So if a man, let's not play down, oh, you eat too much. We are not eating too much. We need, that's Nigerians are lazy. That's what they're saying. They need to eat. A man is going to do laborer work. He needs to eat heavily. Somebody is traveling. He needs to eat. She needs to eat. And when you cannot get food, what do? Do you know basically majority of more than 80 to 90% of the workers in Nigeria, they're only working to eat?
Yes.
Just check that out. Is that obtainable outside of the country? No. So why are we not saying the government have done so well? Why are they spending billions to buy cars, changing the wardrobe, and nobody's saying anything? And nothing's wrong with that? We're borrowing money to buy somebody's cars, and they want to drive a Prado Jeep because the roads are bad that they did not fix. Who will now go on the road? You will now use your keke napep or your bicycle to go on it. What kind of leadership is that?
But let us also, Philip, let's be
very honest with ourselves.
Talk on, I keep on talking about our attitudes now outside this country. Now, it is more said that if you give a Nigerian an opportunity, he takes 10 miles. Because it's been believed that some Nigerians outside the country now, they always want to play a fast one.
It's not true. I disagree with you. Go out there and check the characters of Nigeria.
Let Philip react to this now.
I was going to go into that.
Yeah.
You see, the truth is this. In every society you have such people. Unfortunately, in the case of Nigeria, the very few people that are involved, in this whole attitude, this whole behavior, they are very few.
True.
But the media will not bring the message of the very good ones, winning awards here and there, doing excellently well. They will not bring it
that one
to
out
the
of
public
proportion.
domain. But it's those that have just the few ones that through the back door got to the country here and there, want to come back and show up for them. But what still led to all those is as a result of the class structure. Are you getting me, sir? If you have food to eat, I have food to eat. I don't need to come and show you that I'm eating my food. I'm well fed. When you are well fed too. But if you discover you are the only one eating in the society and the rest are hungry, you have an opportunity to show up that yes, you are well fed. So the society we have found ourselves, everything as you are seeing here still brought down to government. Yes, because you cannot have people working so hard, going through a lot of mental torture on how to survive. Do you know what it is when you are out there? You have gone for work that day, money is not coming back with you. You have to create your own security, create your own light, arrange your own transport, arrange your food, arrange your sleeping, arrange everything. You get home, you will not be able to sleep comfortably because there will be no light. You may not be able to own that little fan you have kept in your room. So everything boils down to that mental torture. The mind, you just spoke about mind just now. When the mind is not actually in place, when it's not working well, you discover a lot of things will not go well.
So that's why a lot of people want to leave at any cost.
And the cost of the fast lane you see Nigerians going outside the country is still brought down to insecurity. I take for instance, if what you have is what you are seeing outside, the quest to quickly put those ones together will not be there. Or if you are sure, if you are secured, if there is assurance over what you are doing in your place of work, at home, your business or whatever, that yes, you have nothing to run after. There will be no high competitive nature.
Yeah.
But when you are not sure, You are just working, you are employed, you are not sure of the next whatever, the salary is nowhere to get by. Your employer can just wake up and take a decision on you, no agency to regulate that. They can decide, can splash salary at will. Even some most well-established firms in town, they can sack, they can hire and fire at any time. So that is security. So immediately you are at that job, you want to quickly secure the future. That is what is going on here.
Okay, so but I think we'll just say that Nigerians live basically for survival.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
You are very correct. On this, I agree with you. That's just it.
And that's not because when we do that now, some Nigerians want to live at all costs, at any cost, whatever it would take them. Now, the implication of that is that
putting so much, having worked for so much.
Yeah.
On the 15th of January, you know, Americans are celebrating Martin Luther King, celebrating the great man, what he did. While your soldiers that fought in the war, they are crying at various states center that they have not been paid.
Yeah, but we are celebrating them too.
Celebrating them in what ways? How? Some of them are coming from. You understand what I'm talking about? You know, the good thing is that you understand.
All right, so I want to say thank you, gentlemen, Philip Agwebo and also Barrister Patrick Awosage. Now, these two guys, they've traveled outside the country, except only me, that maybe one day I may also have to travel. So,
you will soon travel now.
I
hope I will meet you here next time.
The way it is told,
the wave of Jackpot is moving.
Yeah, the way it is told is that when you tender the green passports at international airports, the way you are being received, the way, as a matter of fact, it is being reported now, allegedly reported now, that you are separated from others. Even if you board the same airline, you are separated, and a thorough search, a thorough investigation is carried on you. Now, I also want to thank and praise those, despite all these ugly situations, they still tender the green passports, because it shows that they are true Nigerians. And I'm not going to praise those that some people travel in the airline, the way it's reported now, up there in the airline, they destroy their passports.
Yes.
And when they get to
seek asylum and others,
the seek asylum, that they fall from heaven.
Survivor, you know.
So it's not a good one. So at any cost, at all times, it must be a true replica of the nation that you come from. So please, we are also using this opportunity to plead with our leaders, because it's not a good one that the green passports, you know, is not, people don't want to see it. Most nations of the world, they don't want to see the green passports because all sort of things, you know, associated with the green passport is not a good one at all. So I want to leave it here and use this opportunity to speak to our leaders and even our followers, that let us ensure that Nigeria is great, is big, and of course is truly the giant of Africa. All right, so that's the talk from Benin this morning on the program this morning on ITV.